Welcome to The Barber Show. This is an inspirational talk show that airs every Sunday on Isibo TV and our YouTube channel for The Barber Show. We meet you every Sunday on your tablets, on your TV screens, on your phones, and we love the support you're giving us. We always come here to inspire you, to motivate you, and educate you. Once in a while, we entertain you. So thank you for following this episode. And this episode is going to be quite special for not only ladies, but even gentlemen who are meeting this brand for their first time. Meet or hear about L'Oreal. I know some ladies have heard about L'Oreal, but we're introducing L'Oreal to the gentlemen, Rwandan, East African gentlemen. L'Oreal is a brand known by women, by men here, but L'Oreal does so much more than cosmetics. And through L'Oreal Foundation, they're looking to do even much more great work here in Africa, and specifically we have someone from L'Oreal here in Rwanda. We are here with Miss Alexandra Palt. She is the Executive Vice President, Chief Corporate Responsibility Officer at L'Oreal and Executive Vice President of the L'Oreal Foundation. She has been in L'Oreal Foundation since 2012, and she has been unrelenting in seeking for the transformation of their business model to build a more inclusive and sustainable world. Welcome, Miss Alexandra.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Tell us, someone meeting the name L'Oreal for the first time, following us in the diaspora or on our local TV station, Isibo, and I'm telling them L'Oreal for the first time. What should they know about L'Oreal?
So L'Oreal is a group, is the biggest beauty company in the world with more than 35 international brands, with 88,000 people in the world, with a lot of research and innovation facilities. So we have more than 4,000 researchers, or around 4,000 researchers. We have our own production sites. 80% of our products we produce ourselves. We are present in more than, we have subsidiaries in more than 70 countries. And we have at the heart of our strategic and transformation for the first century is digital and sustainability. So that might also speak to you here, because digital innovation is very important here. So digital and sustainability. And we have a strong commitment to society through the L'Oreal Foundation, but also through other philanthropic endeavors.
Yes, L'Oreal is known for their engagement of women. You have more than 50% on the board of directors women. You have more than 60% of managers. There is a great imprint of women leadership in L'Oreal. What have you learned also as one of the top leaders who is a woman at L'Oreal?
So yeah, I think what is interesting is, so what I have learned is that you have to be a certain number of women so that culture really change. It does not help. When you're a woman alone on the top, that doesn't make culture change, corporate culture or a country's culture or government. So you have to be a certain number, because then your weight, you can feel the weight of women and women's perspective on issues. So first of all, I learned that the more we are, the better we are. Yeah, so it is, of course, about the quality of leadership, but it is also about a certain number. So that is important. I think that there are still a lot of issues in societies that we have to tackle. When we look at gender equality, yes, L'Oreal is a quite feminist company, very committed to the women's cause, but everywhere we can still always do improvement, and work still can be done, because as you might know, if we go at that speed, gender equality in all societies will still need more than 100 years to come.
Rwanda is committed towards the conservation and protection of the environment. Would that be the reason why you have chosen to come to Rwanda?
Well, it is, of course, part of of the reasoning why the L'Oreal Foundation wants to come this year to Kigali, because yes, Rwanda is known for its commitment to sustainability, to plastic ban of plastic bags ban and things like that. So that is an element, of course, that is attractive to foreign companies very much committed to sustainability. But of course, there is also the women empowerment issue that makes Kigali an ideal place to celebrate our event in November. And of course, also the investment and the conviction of the importance of new technologies, of science, and of knowledge.
We will get to the event in November shortly, but let's come back to the program you have, L'Oreal for the Future. What do you mean at L'Oreal when you say L'Oreal for the Future?
Yeah, so what is important is, I think what we all together as societies have to understand is that we cannot continue to live, our economies cannot be the economies that they are today. We have to change. So there are not infinite resources. We cannot produce infinite waste. We have to change our business models. L'Oreal has started already in 2012 to really, and 13 to lead the transformation of our business model that has led to an 81% reduction of our carbon footprint of our industrial activities, has led to environmental improvement around our products, to integrating underprivileged communities in our value chain. But in 2020, when we looked at what have we achieved since 2013, we have achieved a great deal, but much more needs to be done. And so L'Oreal for the Future stands for a radical transformation. So that means that we have fixed our soft targets that we need to achieve. So some are 2025. For example, 2025, all our sites will already be carbon neutral. Factories, distribution centers, research facilities, our administrative sites, all sites will be carbon neutral. In 2030, 100% of all plastic used for packaging will come from recycled plastic. In 2025, we will already be at 50%. In 2030, 95% of our ingredients will come from nature, green chemistry, biotech. So 95% of all our ingredients, and that shows that we are really completely transforming our economic model.
Wow, thank you so much. Before we go for our break, I see that L'Oreal is also committed to empowering women, which is what we just talked about earlier, but also empowering women in STEM. What does that look like for you, and how do you want to do it here in Rwanda?
So we have since for the last 22-23 years, we have a program that we have built with UNESCO that is called the L'Oreal UNESCO for Women in Science Awards. So this program started 23 years ago when it was about, we became aware that women scientists weren't visible. You know, when you ask children, even 10 years ago, when you ask children to draw a scientist, they drew a man, you know. And even now you have seen that in the Nobel Prize, no Nobel Prize for women this year.
Yes, I've noticed, yes.
So there is an issue about making women scientists visible because they exist. Excellence, female scientific excellence exists, but they are not visible enough. So we started more than 20 years ago to make these women visible with an international award at UNESCO in Paris, but also with communication media in order to give them a stage for talking about their science. Over the years, we felt that we have to do more. And so we started young talents programs to give fellowships to women who do their thesis or their postdoc in order to allow them to promote themselves, their research, their careers, make it easier for them. And so we have a program for sub-Saharan African scientists. This year we are coming to Kigali to celebrate our young talents from all over Africa here in Kigali.
Yes. Let's take a short break, then we'll come back and finish this conversation. Please stay tuned on The Barbara Show. If you're following us on our YouTube channel or Isibo TV, we'll be right back. Welcome back to the Barbara Show. We are here every Sunday at 7 p.m. on Isibo TV, or if you're following us in the diaspora, we are always on the same YouTube channel, the Barbara Show. You can always visit our previous episodes, but on this specific episode, we're with Miss Alexandra Palt, and she's sharing so much wealth from her experience and even the work that L'Oreal Foundation is doing. So before we took a break, we were talking about what L'Oreal is doing, empowering and encouraging women to be visible, women in STEM to be visible. What would you tell young people, youth, who are looking into getting into STEM, but they're not sure, or they have what do I call this? They are afraid, or they think they will not get the support that they need. It could be here in Rwanda. It could be even
everywhere in the world.
Everywhere in the world.
Everywhere in the world. Yeah, a lot of places where women still think, or girls think that science is not for them, that their grades are not good enough, that it will be too difficult. So there is a lot of fantasy about that. And so we are also doing for young girls in science program in order to encourage young girls to go to science. And we can see there are many factors that determine orientation. So it is, of course, in a society, how are women's scientific careers seen? So there is something about stereotypes that we have to fight. It is about self-confidence and self-value. How do you see yourself? And it is about the information and the orientation you have available. When you talk about science career, there are many different jobs and ways and issues available. So inform yourself. If you have an appetite, never think that this is not for you. Inform yourself. Get your parents' support. That is also important. It is important that parents sometimes also are afraid. It seems long, the career afterwards is not very clear, and so on. But I think what has to be very clear, especially for African young people, is that Africa needs scientists to do research in Africa for Africa. I love that. And I think that is very important. The challenges that are coming, you know, around climate change, biodiversity loss, health, food insecurity, a lot of different issues. Digital, you know, the opportunities that digital can bring to solve communities and people's problems here. Yes. So that is, science is not abstract. It will allow to bring wealth and solutions to the people. And that science is needed. So yes, I think the world needs African scientists in Africa for Africa.
Most definitely. So when we talk about the work that L'Oreal Foundation is doing, you have CSR activities you intend to do here in Rwanda?
Well, we don't have a subsidiary in Rwanda, so we have our offices. We have an office in Joburg. We have a factory and an office in Kenya. So what we are doing, what we are trying is we're supporting women scientists from all African countries. So yes, there is going to be a Rwandan young talent.
We are excited for that.
Yes, definitely. So you will find out more in November about her. So there is definitely talents. We support also organizations, women's organizations, that work on women empowerment in different countries. And so this can be definitely of interest also for Rwanda.
Yes. So we keep coming back to November. There is a gala being organized in November. Tell us more about the gala.
Yeah, so part of, you know, it is very important to make these women visible. Yes. There are many elements that lead to a glass ceiling for women in STEM careers. So of course it is about visibility, it is, but also about soft skills. You know, a lot of these young women or women, scientists, women, scientific women do not have management skills or communication, media skills, negotiation skills. So what we are doing is we are bringing our young talents from all over Africa here to Kigali. They will be trained during 4 days in these different soft skills, management, negotiation, media training, and so on. And then we will have a big gala on the 25th, because this celebration is allowing them to be aware of what they have already achieved. Because in general, women scientists has already showed a lot of perseverance and effort to be there and still be there. Yeah. So it's a moment of celebration, but it's also a moment where there's going to be a lot of journalists that will talk about the research, about the solutions that these young women bring to the world's problems and challenges. And it is also a moment where they are getting trained in order in the future to be able to better break the glass ceiling. And actually once a young talent from Senegal has told me something that has moved me a lot, because she said after this week of training and media and celebration, and she said to me, you changed, the L'Oréal Foundation has changed the way the world is looking at me. And I think that was really a great compliment. And so if we can bring this to some more women, we would be very happy and honored.
Wow. We look forward to the November gala. It's on the 25th November.
Exactly.
Any high-profile guests we should expect that you could share?
A surprise.
It's a surprise.
I hope so.
Well, thank you for your time. And as we close, what message would you tell African youths who are following this show on YouTube or even in the country about what L'Oréal Foundation is going to do for them? Directly personal message.
So what I think, so what our contribution is always going to be a small contribution, you know, because we are, even the L'Oréal Foundation is small. So what I can say from my experience and after having spent some days here in Rwanda is the creativity, the capacity of innovation, the capacity of bringing change is in your hands. And so we need you, the youth, the African youth, to bring solutions to all of us.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, following us on The Barbara Show, this episode, you have heard her. The capacity to change, to bring solutions for Africa are in our hands. Thank you so much, Ms.
But
Alexander.
even for the world, I think.
Even for the world. We shouldn't keep it to ourselves.
Yeah, well, I don't know, but I think we can learn also. Everybody can learn.
Thank you so much.
Ms.
Alexandra Poltz, who is the Chief Executive Vice President at the L'Oréal Foundation. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wakoze gukurikira ikiganiro The Barbara Show. Nimba ukibonye kuri YouTube The Barbara Show, kora subscribe, ujye ukomeza kubona amakuru n'ibindi biganiro byinshi bikomeza kuza. Nimba udukurikira kuri Facebook, nimba udukurikira kuri Instagram, tumeze udukurikire, turakwishimiye cyane. No kuri Twitter muzajya mukomeza kubona amakuru, ndetse ntimukasibe kureba iki kiganiro ku Isibo TV. Turabashimiye rero ku mwanya wanyu mwaduhaye. Imana